Okay.
Welcome to New Thought Tuesdays. Hey, Rich.
Hey, good morning. How you doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Good. Doing great. Doing great.
Creatives, dudes, people who are creative. Is there a song at the center of your being that everyone hears? A joy that everyone feels? A strength that is imparted to all? That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about the accomplishments that we all feel, sense, and know in the spirit of truth and the spirit of love and the spirit of unfoldment, that our truth, our beauty, our ability to identify truth brings a sense of accomplishment. And certainly we want to welcome our friends here that are here with us in the waiting room. We are sending you love and consciousness. Thank you. We will also stop your video so that you will have some privacy. Richard, we're asking the question, are you grateful? Are you grateful for each success and each accomplishment? Do you consistently advance to a new, greater revelation of truth? And
Absolutely.
our sense is that we can know that that spirit is within us, free, and we are not bound by the patterns of yesterday. That's what we're talking about today, that freedom for greater accomplishment as we explore the spiritual secret, if you will, to embracing this point of view. We're going to talk about that today.
Awesome. And so freedom, what is freedom? Freedom is just allowing yourself to be free. For me, freedom is being free from all of the fear, doubt, and worry, the things that hold me back so that I can expand into my greatest self. So freedom, how do you get freedom from all of that stuff? That can be challenging.
Well, how do you get freedom from that kind of stuff? You just, even as you're talking about it, that sense of alignment that you've got, just your whole body just went into a sense of alignment. And as you were talking about freedom, as you imagined that sense of freedom.
Yeah. Just freedom for me is just knowing that that there's a power and a presence within me that's unlimited, and the only limitations are the ones that I create in my own thinking, my own mind. So I just work on changing my thoughts, focusing on the things that I want, celebrating the things that I have in gratitude, and being open to new and more exciting things to come into my life. And then I feel free. I feel constricted when I'm trying to force things to happen, when things aren't going my way, and I just go down that scale of emotional scale to like fear, doubt, worry, anger, resentment, anger at the universe for not giving me what I want or whatever. But when I understand that I'm working with this unlimited power and presence, it's working in and as and through me, and it's unlimited, and I allow it to bring me the things that I need in order to feel free and to succeed in myself as a creative in the entertainment business, and I feel free.
Yeah. When you allow yourself, it's because there are sometimes we are aware that this presence is here, and sometimes we pretend that it's not.
Yeah.
And it really is a matter of, it's not like it's here when you know it's here. It's always here. It's just sometimes we just pretend it's not. And that's the idea of separation. There's a reading, as you folks know, we like to pull on the 365 Science of Mind text. And today for October 4th, it says, I press forward to greater accomplishment. And Ernest Holmes says, grateful for each success and each accomplishment, I advance to a new and greater revelations of truth, new and greater revelations of truth, knowing that the spirit within me is free. I'm no longer bound by the patterns of yesterday. Freedom is made manifest through my thoughts, in my words and actions. Freedom is made manifest through my thoughts, in my words and actions. And I'll go on to read some of that, some more of what he had to say later. But the idea that everyone that's watching this right now, your freedom comes from your own thinking and in the words that you speak and the actions that you take. And sometimes it may sound very simplistic to say, change your thinking, change your life, change the world. But we really are changing the world one thought at a time. When you take a thought of creativity, of freedom, if you're sitting there and you're just like, I'm just existing today, it is your opportunity to change that I'm just existing today, because that's your thought, and move it into a place that brings you more joy. I am more than just existing today. I have any number of things that I can do today. There is great abundance present for me. There is great love here for me. And as you start talking to yourself, and I encourage you to even talk out loud to yourself, it brings a sense of freedom and alignment that is so valuable. Do you ever talk to yourself? Do you ever pray out loud?
Yeah, I have a book I just picked up where you talk to yourself in the mirror.
Aha.
Mirror work, and you talk to yourself in the mirror and you just affirm that you are amazing and all of the great things about yourself. You learn to love yourself by talking to yourself in the mirror. So yeah, I do talk to myself in the mirror.
I found when I lived in Los Angeles, I, of course, was doing a lot of driving. There was a lot of driving. And when I was in licensing to be a practitioner, I would often pray in the car aloud with my hands on the steering wheel.
Of course.
Right. And my eyes open, but to really experience the whole world around me, the abundance of the cars, the abundance of the people, experience the whole world around me, and bring to that a sense of dedicated spoken prayer. And there was such a freedom. Even as I'm speaking to you now, I find speaking in New Thought Tuesdays and on New Thought Lives, and when I speak in front of groups, and when I work with clients, the idea of speaking this truth out loud, using the words, is very, very powerful. And that's where that the imagination comes, and then the speaking. And when then you take the actions and you experience the outcome, the accomplishment, that is spiritually uplifting. At least it is to me.
Yeah.
What Mr. Holmes says next here is becoming conscious of myself as I really exist in the mind of God. I find that I am walking in pathways of peace, that something within me, like a magnet, attracts that which belongs to itself. This something is love, the prime impulsion of the universe. I know that I have no existence apart from this love. As I grow in the knowledge that I am one with the Spirit, I know that I will grow in the ability to use the God power within me. Today, I have complete confidence in the law of good. I have a complete sense of protection in the knowledge that good attends me. I experience the joy of knowing that this good permeates everything I do, say, and think. See how he is repeating these ideas of what we think, say, and do.
Yeah.
He's repeating these ideas of what we think, say, and do. When you're becoming conscious of yourself, and Rich, how does it feel when you become more conscious of yourself, like you really exist in the mind of God? What is that physical feeling for you?
Yeah. This whole idea of, you hit me with something, becoming conscious of myself as I really exist in the mind of God. In the mind of God, I exist as perfection. And as I always use my metaphor of like being a movie, that the screenplay for your movie is perfect, whole, and complete. And so when we are in alignment with our true self, our authentic self, who we are, who we're meant to be, and express that, then I find that, like he says, like a magnet, everything is attracted to you, because that which vibrates with you is attracted to you. So I guess I just go back to that same thing all the time. It's just like knowing that the letter of truth, which is that I am one with infinite intelligence. It's creating in and as and through me as perfection. And then I just allow that to happen. And I try not to sway from that, and try to do something or be something that I'm not in my nature, because my nature is the nature of God within me. And so I guess if that answers your question, I don't know, but I love the way Ernest Holmes, I mean, it's just amazing. I love his writings. To become, conscious of myself as I really exist in the mind of God. That's powerful. Powerful
It is
stuff.
powerful, and I'm we're putting in the chat right now the first two paragraphs, because that's what we've gone through, just so that perhaps if you want to read this in the chat, sometimes reading stuff can make an even deeper impact in the learning.
Yeah.
But he keeps coming back to the ideas that you think, you say, and you do. You do, you say, and you think. And finally, he goes on to say, here, let me put this in the chat so that you guys can read it with me if you want. I realize that this good recognizes me and that I can't depart from it. Good is forever expressing itself to me and to everyone whom I love. It fills me with a great surge of life. I consciously receive this good and loose it into action. There is a song in the center of my being that everyone hears, a joy that everyone feels, a strength that is imparted to all. I press forward to greater accomplishment.
Yeah.
That idea that there's just so much good. There's so much good. It just the thing is to focus on it. Go ahead, Rich.
Yeah. And that's what I was just going to say. Focus on it. The more you recognize the good in your life, and like you always say, good and not good, rather than the not good, then you're going to get more of the good. It's just it's just the law of spiritual law, that what you focus on expands, and what you don't put your attention on has no power to hold it in place. It just disappears. It goes away. And so why do we focus? And this is a question that I have for you out there. Why do we focus consistently? Our mind is trained to focus on the things that are not good. Like in the news, it's all not good stuff mostly. You go on a trip and you come back, you had a great time. And the first thing that comes to mind when somebody says, how was your trip? Well, that plane flight, it was delayed and this and that. What is it? The mind, T. Harv Eker used to say, the mind's job is to take you down. And so you have to not kill the tiger of fear, doubt and worry, but you got to tame the tiger of fear, doubt and worry. So you got to tame the mind. And I think that's what it's all about, just taming the mind to focus on that which is good.
I was talking about, this was yesterday on New Thought Live when you and I were talking. I was talking about the whole idea of meditation, and how a good mentor of mine, Dr. Mark Vieira, used to have the analogy of meditation is really like training a puppy on the paper. You You sit there just like the puppy on the paper. The puppy goes off the paper, you bring it back. If you're in meditation, your mind goes off someplace, you bless it, you bring it back to your breath. The puppy goes off the paper, you bring it back to the paper. You don't reprimand it, you don't do anything, you just love it. This is like, you just love your mind and love your thinking, because though I understand what T. Harv Eker, who I happen to adore his financial planning work. It's his financial planning work has been a really positive impact in our household over the years. I don't believe that your mind is designed to take you down. I think it can feel that way. I think the wonder of this kind of work is that you can always feel like your mind is there to serve you, that your mind is there to serve the universe. And if it feels like you're in a little wrestling match with it, the idea of knowing how to think the thoughts that bring you your highest and best good. And folks, just please don't take just our word for it. Hopefully you know us, you like us, you trust us, you know we've got your best interest in mind. But the idea is, go on out there and try this stuff. Live your life and try this stuff. When you catch yourself focusing on good stuff, go, yay. When you catch yourself focusing on not good stuff, go, I think I'm going to move to thinking about good stuff. Where is the goodness in this? Don't just deny it. Don't do a spiritual bypass. Recognize where the goodness is in your experience, because there is greatness and there is gunk, and spirit is everywhere present. It's not just that spirit is present in the greatness and not in the gunk. It's everywhere present. Goodness is everywhere present. But that is our quote for today from the 365 Science of Mind, the idea of creatives and our creative sense, bringing that sense of accomplishment in our sense of goodness. Do you have anything else you want to share before we go into the Zoom room?
Yeah. One of the things that I was just thinking of when you were talking about that is just knowing that your thoughts become things is just gives me incentive to change my thoughts. Why do I want to think about this this negative thing when I can think about something positive? And I just bless my wife. She's always happy, always up, always focusing on good stuff, and she's always calling me on it and saying, "Why do you want to think about that? Why do you want to talk about that? Let's talk about what we're going to create." And she always talks about the good things in life, and she lives a joyful, happy life most of the time. And so I think that's really important, to be able to recognize that your thoughts are going to become things. So why would I want to think about or talk about or act upon this thing? Just focus on the things that you really want to create in your life, and they will manifest. They will manifest. They have to manifest.
The instant you bring consistent thought to them, they begin to manifest. The futureness becomes the presentness. Love it. But I think I'm good for today. Shall we go into conversation with the folks that are here?
Sure, let's do that. What we're going to do is we're going to end the live broadcast over Facebook and YouTube, and then we'll keep everybody and bring them up on stage, and we'll have a little conversation today about a subject matter.
And if you guys who are listening to this after New Thought Tuesdays takes place want to be part of this group, please go to newthoughttuesdays.com and sign up for our little reminder email. You'll get it on Monday morning. It will give you the private link to join the conversation, and we love to see you. You're just like friends and family to us. So we're grateful to have you there.
Okay, so we'll see you every day on New Thought Live. Take care.
All right, stop in the